Hey there. In this video, I'd like to talk through the essay, To What Extent Do Anarchists Have a Coherent View on the Economy, which was from the exam paper summer 2019 and has also been set in various kind of mock or practice exams. Quite a nice question, has to be said. Let's hope it kind of something similar kind of comes up again. Because this is a political ideas question and it says to what extent, we're not necessarily looking for a full-on yes or a full-on no, but we are looking for you to take a view about whether they do agree or do disagree. So we are looking for some evaluation. We're looking for at least two anarchist key thinkers, but in reality, we're looking for the vast majority. The more we can get in, the better. We're looking for some analysis. Are these disagreements major or minor? And the same with the agreements. We're looking to kind of see what the impact of these kind of different ideas are. We're looking for a range of different ideas in there rather than just focusing on one particular part of the economy. So I'll talk you through what you should have done here. We're probably looking for 2 or 3 sections. There's a couple of structures that would work. You could either kind of put agreements and disagreements in the same paragraphs, similar to how you might do with a normal kind of politics essay, or you might want to kind of go, well, here are the areas of agreement, and then here are the areas of disagreement. I think probably if I was writing this essay, I would probably start off with 1 paragraph on agreements and then 2 paragraphs on disagreements, because there's more disagreements than agreements, but it could actually work with kind of 2 big sections. I don't think there's just one way of doing this particular question, so as long as you're kind of hitting the AO1, AO2, AO3, there's a variety of ways of doing it. So what were the answers? Well, the big agreement between anarchists about the economy is that there should be no state and therefore no state interference, and therefore everything will kind of happen naturally. So there should be no state interference of any kind. All anarchists would agree with that, and you can use Goldman in particular to kind of back that up, as well as basically any of the others. They would also agree that economic order will arise naturally. Now, they of course will disagree about what that order will look like, but because there's no state, they think that whatever happens will just kind of happen, and you can kind of develop those ideas there. Now, slightly more advanced things here. Now, all anarchists agreeing is one thing, but you could also say that there is some agreement between anarchists. So, for example, you might say, think of a socialism essay, you might say there is agreement between Crossland and Giddens. So, agreement between democratic socialists and social democrats that blah, 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 whilst there is disagreement between those 2 groups and traditional socialists or revolutionary socialists. So, the other agreement here is that collective anarchists all agree that there should be these kind of individual little economies, these kind of localized kind of communities. So Proudhon and Kropotkin would all kind of agree that this is the system there should be. Now, of course, there is disagreement there as well, but we're trying to find areas of agreement. So there are agreements there between those particular types of anarchists. And then we kind of begin moving on to our disagreements. Now, there is a key agreement here, which is about no state interference. Now, so whether you want to make your essay argue that actually this is the most fundamental agreement of all, then that would work as an essay. Or you could actually kind of say, well, they all kind of fundamentally agree that there should be no state interference, and kind of so the starting point is the same, but then from the outcome of what this economy would look like is very different. That's kind of up to you, and in a way it doesn't really matter as long as you are making a case 70-30 one way or the other. But your disagreements are going to be that there are significant differences between collectivist anarchists and individual anarchists when it comes to the economy. They have different viewpoints about how the world is going to look once you remove the state from it. On one side, you've got collective ownership. On the other side, you've got private ownership. In a way, you've got kind of a version of ultra-socialism versus I've written anarchism, but ultra kind of capitalism, really, free market capitalism. So they're all kind of agreeing that this order will arise naturally, but what is that order looks incredibly different. And again, you could put that into 1 paragraph, or you could put that into 2 very different sections, agreements and disagreements. That doesn't matter as long as you're kind of have a consistency to it. Developing that idea further, collective anarchists believe in small-scale communities. Anarcho-capitalists see no need for that kind of decentralization. So collectivist anarchists believe that almost like your economy works on a very small scale with a very small amount of people. That's a very kind of localized economy, whereas anarcho-capitalists believe that you have a kind of national or international economy. Really, you can trade with whoever, whenever, using kind of whatever method. There's no reason to kind of localize it or decentralize it away into these kind of local communities. So there's the kind of the building blocks of your essay. From this point onwards, it's all about thinkers, 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 thinkers. As long as you've made a case to either be arguing there's mainly agreements or mainly disagreements and evaluation. But from this point onwards, what will make you stand out is using your thinkers and using your quotations and using your different kind of keywords and things like that. That is going to be what is going to make the difference between your grades. So looking then at putting your essay together, you're looking at about. Sorry, got distracted by a student who couldn't. Well, got distracted by a student. Yeah, but from that point onwards, it's thinkers, thinkers, thinkers. Remember, you need at least two, but like I said in the introduction, realistically, you want to get them all in for an essay like this, just because the more ideas you can get in, the more you can develop the ideas you're talking about, the more you will look like an A grade kind of a student. So there you go. So now you can look at your individual essay, feedback to see how you did.